her vlog. So I remember being in my senior year of college, and it just seemed like everyone had everything kind of figured out what they were going to do. And at the time I felt like grad school was my only option, but I'm kind of here for people who need more direction, because honestly it might not be your only option, and there's so many things to consider when before you actually apply. So number one, do you know what you want to do with your career? So I don't know, I thought maybe grad school would be the thing to help. And for being honest, taking courses and all the opportunities afforded to me at grad school really did kind of help me, but I wish I knew like what I wanted to be, like what I wanted to do specifically. Like for me, I'm in the public health field, and I've always been interested in sexual and reproductive health, and that's what I knew I wanted to do. But like maybe more direction, like do you want to work in research, do you want to work in community outreach, like things like that to consider. I wouldn't have even been able to tell you what kind of title I wanted, so I think just having that more kind of direction would help. I also think you should consider is getting a master's degree your last stop. I know a lot of people who got their master's and are going on to med school afterwards. So pretty much they got their MPH and they're just taking a year between their master's and going to med school. So pretty much studying and taking the MCAT, getting more experience, research experience to kind of like boost their app. So that could be a thing. If you know that this isn't your last stop, maybe you do want to go directly to getting a master's. I think having a baseline passion for something is kind of okay, but I do believe like knowing what you want to do with your master's degree is a big thing to consider, because you might even find out like, is the thing I want to do, like do I even need a master's degree to do what I want to do? So, and you don't want to like realize that you spent all this money in 2 years on something that you didn't even need in the first place to do the thing that you really want to do. So the second thing you should consider is, what real world experience do you have? Say real world experience, I mean just being out there maybe in the field that you're interested in, whether it be internships, full-time jobs, traveling, anything like that, that would actually get you some experience in what you want to get your master's in. I know that a lot of my classmates came from the Peace Corps, or they just had like full-time research positions before coming to grad school, and they were able to really contribute a lot, always had really good experience to share, and I think it really helped them know that this is where they wanted to be. And as for me, I did have plenty of internships, but my internships were probably about 3 to 5 months tops, which I mean, and depending on your internship, that is probably all you need. But for me, I think I needed just more time being in my field and getting more experience to know, is this the place for me? And another reason why you might want real world experience is because that real world experience might lead to funding. So I know for public health, like let's say you're in the Peace Corps, you can get scholarships to get a master's degree because you were in the Peace Corps. Or for other industries, if you work with them for a couple years, they will actually maybe fund part of or all your tuition to go back to get your master's degree. So you never know what that real world experience might actually lead to, you know, just a little something in your pocket, because that's going to lead us into number 3. Are the benefits that I will get from getting a master's degree worth the cost? I mean, I never know where anybody's financial situation is. Plenty of people got scholarships, full rides, so, you know, taking on a little bit of debt might not seem that crazy. But for some of us who did take out some loans in undergrad, you know, taking out more loans, it's you know, just a little bit. So that's why I'm just trying to keep it honest with you guys. Especially like if like maybe let's say your master's program isn't in the state you live in, so you can't qualify for in-state tuition, or you go to a private school. Even though it's only 2 years, that 2 years is going to cost a lot. So you really want to know this is something you really want to go into, because at the end of the day, it's an investment, you know. I mean, this is something you have to think about, like, will I be okay with this decision in a couple years when I have to pay some of these loans back? And as you know, especially like millennials and now Gen Z who are going into college, like the US debt with students right now is just, whew, it really is something. And I also want to say, don't think like I'm saying like don't get a master's degree if the salary isn't going to like pay off in the long run. If this is something you really want to do and it might be a little bit more expensive, then that might just have to be the risk you're willing to take. Like I said, it is an investment, so I don't want you to think, okay, like getting a master's degree is only something I can do if I'm going to make buku amounts of money like right after I graduate. I'm all about following your dreams and doing what you want to do. So, but I'm just saying, like, is this something you want to pay a lot of money for? It's something you really have to think about. So with cost, you might need to just take that year break to save up money or something, like have another job, save up something at least for rent money for the next 2 years, if anything, just to mitigate costs and loans that you have to take out. And so my last thing for you to consider, which I felt like was really important to me, is this your decision or are you feeling pressured to go straight into school? So a little about me. I am Nigerian. I come from a Nigerian household. I am a first generation Nigerian American. And I think a lot of people with immigrant parents can kind of relate to this, is that education is so important. It's like so important. I decided I wasn't going to do the whole big three, doctor, lawyer, engineer. No, I decided I wasn't going to do any of that. And my parents were very understanding, and my parents are very cool for like immigrant Nigerian parents. However, they weren't too comfortable with the idea of me not continuing my education in some way. They saw that me getting a master's degree would be my best option. And even though I said like I was fine with like just having my bachelor's degree and maybe making like not that much money for a year and then going to grad school, it wasn't, they weren't feeling it. So I think at the end of the day, you just have to realize that this is your decision. This is your life, it's nobody else's. So you really need to think, is this the path for me? Not the path that my family expects or everybody else in my life, my mentors, anything like that. No, this has to be something that you want to do. If you need to take some time to think about it, take all that time. But, just make sure nobody's pressuring you into like going to school immediately after. So I think some other things you do need to like think about before taking that year break is like, do I need to take a job and will that job not pay me a lot? Maybe you just want to take a year just to like, I don't know, be at home or like go traveling, have fun. We only young once, like, so I don't blame people who want to take a year to do that. Or, we've been in school for so long, maybe you just want a year to take a break. Just, just like the 4 to 5 years you can spend in undergrad can really take a toll on you. And honestly, I kind of wish I just had that little break in my mind. Like one problem I have is some people think like, oh, if you go working, you won't go back to school. But like, I knew for me that I probably want to, because like honestly, a bachelor's in public health salary, it's not a lot. But also I know myself, I've always enjoyed education, and I think I needed just 1 year just to like take a break, see what I wanted to do, see where I wanted my life to head before actually making a 2-year commitment like that. And yeah, a year ago, I was really starting to kind of almost regret my decision on going straight to grad school, not taking that break for myself. Now that I graduated in May. But yeah, now that I graduated, I think I'm at peace with my decision now. And I had great opportunities in my master's program, and I met wonderful people, and I learned a lot of good things that did kind of help me know where I wanted to be a little bit more. But I do think had I just had that break from school, I would have done a lot better, and I would have pushed myself to do a lot more things. After my first year, I just felt so burnt out, or not even after my first year, y'all. It was after my first semester. I just felt so burnt out, and I didn't push myself to like take all the opportunities I could and take all the classes that probably helped me. So yeah, everybody's journey is different, and if you really put your mind to it, once you take that break, you will go back to school. I mean, I've seen people who did it, I have friends who did it, so don't ever feel pressured like you have to get everything done like straight off the bat. Do you do decisions that make you feel comfortable, and that will help you excel in your career. I really do hope that this video helped anybody who was probably on the fence, or at least made them consider it. Maybe you still don't know, but at least you now have some things to kind of consider before applying. I really do hope to make more blogs that will be helpful for people, not only in education, but just in life, mental health, and everything. I do have a blog post called Yours Truly Boosie. It's yourstrulyboosie.blogspot.com. The information will be in the bio, and I'll try to upload a blog and a YouTube video. Like, they'll talk about the same things, because I know like some people might not like to read, and some people aren't patient enough to like sit through a whole YouTube video. So you have either or. I'll try to post every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the purpose of the blog and the topics I'll be talking about on this YouTube are just to help young women, well, young people, but more specifically young women, the things that we have to go through on a day-to-day life, things that we think about, things that we're struggling with, insecurities. So yeah, and if you have any requests that you want me to talk about, just leave it in the comments below. Yeah, and if you like this, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and to check out the blog post every Sunday. So yeah, I really hope this helped, and you guys have a great day. Bye.